This is your, okay, let's have a look at your exercise first. So, okay, question 1 is okay, it's fine. So we come to question 2, the thing that you face difficulty in. So, so this is the high score text here. Okay, so it got a name and got a score value under it. Sorry, let's close this. Yeah, so what we wanted to do is that we wanted to accumulate all these values, read all these values first, and then put them into a 2D array. So actually, yes, of course, it have a few tricks around to be able to do that. So first, we read the text file using this command. Can you still remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then to be able, okay, no, forget about this line first. Actually, this line get how many lines, or what is the length of the text file. So let's say we have eight entries in the files. So this function will actually get us 8, the length equal 8. So what we have done here, this is just a normal function that opens the text file and keep counting the numbers, the lines. Okay, so it reads all the lines, it put it here in a variable, and then it gets the length of the lines. Okay, so it will return 8. So it means that we have 8 lines inside, but we know that each line correspond to so 2 lines correspond to 1 entry. So a name and a score, a name and a score. Okay, so we consider this as a 1 entry. Okay, so what we wanted to do, do you still remember the 2D array? Do you want me to share with you how the 2D array looks like? So we have rows and columns, right? Do you want me to share with you anything about the 2D array? Any graphical drawing for that? Or you still recall it?
I'm okay with 2D array.
Okay, so what I did here is that I divided the length that is returned from this function. I divide it by 2 because although this length will return to me 8, but I don't need to make an array of 8 columns. Okay, but even if you make it with 8 columns, also it should be fine. There will be no harm. You're still able to achieve what you want to achieve here in the question. So if you look here, create a 2D array that have 2 rows, and the number of the columns should be matching the number of records in the text file. Okay, so since we get the length here, so it means that, okay, if it returns 8, this means that the columns will be 8. So I stored the value of the length here inside the columns. Even if you don't divide it by 2, it's also fine. Okay, so we move to the next. Read the high score text file content and store the student name in the first row of the 2D array. Okay, so I needed to make a for loop. So first, before the for loop, I populated the 2D array with the empty string. Okay, so whatever we are going to read from the text file will be strings only. Okay, so I created the columns, and the columns will be equal the number that is returned by the lines of the text file. This is responsible for the columns. And then for the rows, we have 2 rows, one for the names and one for the score. Okay, so it's only 2 rows. Columns, it depends on the number of the students. If we have 8 students, then we need 8 columns. Is it fine like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we make a for loop, and during the for loop, I will start reading the text file. Okay, line by line. So we know already from here, the first line is always a name, and the second line is always a number, a score. So as we said, on the first row, we store the names. On the second row, we store the scores. Okay. Okay. So let me, let me draw something here. So if we have a 2D array like that, and then that is row 0, sorry, that's actually quite not accurate. We only have 2 rows. So it should be like that. Okay, 0 and 1. And then we have a number of columns. We assume it is 4 in our case. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as we said, this is the rows, and this is the columns. In the row 1, we will store the names. Okay, in row 0, we'll store the names. Row 1 will store the scores. Okay, so now if I read the first line, it will get me what? Can you look here, please?
Mm-hmm.
Here. When I first read, so when I first execute this line, what it will read? Here. So we have 8. We have 8 lines to read. So the first time I read what the first time I read line, it will read 1 line from me. So what will be that?
Chi.
Okay. Okay. So we will store that when it is row 0 and when it is the column is C. So C, we said that C here start from 0 until columns. Columns is 8. So because we have columns is 8 and C start from 0. Okay, from 0 to 8. Okay. Of course, here we didn't create 8 because we divided by 2, but columns, the number of entries inside the text file is 8 in general. Okay. Okay. So now can you tell me, so if C equals 0 and then the row equals 0, it means that we will put in which cell here we will put? We need to put chi. We read it here, chi. Where to put it?
0, 0, column 0.
Here, right? Okay. So what is the next that we need to read? If we come here, what are we going to read?
The next line, the next row.
Oh, okay. So it means here, which one? How much?
100.
How much are you going to read? What is
100.
the value?
100.
100. Okay. So 100. Where are we going to store it? In this array?
The same row, first column.
Same row, first column. But this is the same row. This is the row, because you please notice this is the row 0 and this is the row 1.
Oh, okay.
The column is the same, but the row different.
Okay.
So what do you think? Row 1. This is so where to store?
Below chi, the first 0, the zeroth column, the first row. Okay.
So is it clear like that? So we will do the same because this is a for loop. So after we, okay, this is the first time we run, okay, C equals 0. After that, C will become 1. Okay, so this means that when C equal 1, this means that we are going to install everything. We are going to write everything in this column. Okay, we will get the name and we get the score here. Is that clear to you? So we will keep looping. We will keep looping until we fill in all the entries here. So okay, let's see when the C equals 3. When C equals 3, okay, I want to know from you, this line will read what? From 0 to 3 means that we already, this is the 4th time that we read. Okay, can you tell me now from the text file which entry we will read?
200.
Okay, wait. The first time we run, when c equals 0, we will get both values, chi and 100. Okay. When the second time we run, the c equal 1, we will get li and 200. The third time we run, we will get cy and 300. The fourth time we run, we will get Kong and 400.
Okay.
Okay? Because every time we run the for loop, we read two lines, the first and the second. We read two lines here. If you can see, oops, no, I cannot do that. So I have to erase a bit. So, okay. So just note, please, that we are reading two times here. Okay. So as I told you, the fourth time we run, which is c equals 3, okay, we will also read two lines, but it will be the last two lines here, which is Kong and 400. So if we read the first, when c equals 3, where are we going to install Kong? Where we're going to put Kong here in the array? When c equals 3?
The fourth column.
Here, Kong.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And please tell me now, what is the next line?
400.
Okay. Where are we going to put?
Right below Kong.
Okay. So is that clear to you?
Yeah.
But be aware, if they change slightly in the exam, they will challenge your understanding. So if you not clear, you have to tell me, and then we have to find more exercises on that. Okay? Because yeah, this is important. Of course, you understand the basic now how it works here. But of course, if you don't understand fully understand, they play some tricks in the exam, then you are not there anymore. Okay. Okay. So let me move to the next. Actually, what you have done is actually okay. It's fine, except that. So when you created the stack here as a class, actually it's good, perfect. There is no issues. Is that except that when I run, it give me an error. So I also don't understand why is the reason for that error. Why do you think? Can you read, please?
Okay.
Can you see the lines that I highlighted for you?
Yeah. Is the error there?
Yes, this is the error. So so everything in red will be the error.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So okay, so he's telling first that the error comes on line 98. So where is the line 98? This is the line 98.
Okay.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to call push. That is a method inside the class stack, right? So what is he telling here for you? Attribute error. Stack object has no attribute push. You don't have push defined. You don't have push defined. Why is that, in your opinion? Actually, you already defined push, but not inside the class.
Okay.
So why do you think that it does not accept your definition for push and pop? There is actually a slight mistake only.
Okay. Is it because of the indent not available?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
So when you don't indent all that, actually he's considering that you didn't define it inside the class. Okay.
Okay.
So you have to follow exactly the same indent from the start until the end of the class. for everything inside. Okay. So maybe we try to run and see. Let me see. Okay, so it accepted what you are trying to do here. Okay, yeah. So we stop everything about the exercise here, and then we move to something else. Okay.